Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I have the pleasure to be joined by head of SJAM, Adam Morallee. Adam, what have we just witnessed? Johnny Fisher knocking out Alen Babic in one.
Yeah, 30 seconds, and quite a lot of that 30 seconds was Alen on the floor. I think, Johnny's been phenomenal this camp. He's really stepped it up. Sparred Filip Ergovic, sparred Derek Chisora, and we became aware of Johnny's levels. Ergovic is the best person he's ever sparred. We know we're not at that level, but Johnny's such a fast developer, and he's now matching power with skill with his raw fan base. And I thought that tonight, when you saw what was going on in there, it was wild. It was wild before he boxed, and I thought, can he put the performance in to match that crowd? And he did.
He definitely did as well. I mean, Alen Babic fought for a version of a world title 2 fights ago. I mean, I was just saying to everyone here, I hope people don't underestimate this win. I mean, how big of a win is that for Johnny Fisher?
I mean, look, I think it was an absolute certainty that if Johnny won in one round, people would say he got beat by Rosansky in a round and Coley beat Rosansky in a round. It's an absolute certainty that people will try and push that win down. But Alen Babic was, I don't know, was he 12? Was he 12 and 1, something like that? 11 KOs. He's KO'd almost every opponent. And some of those opponents were, relatively decent old names. It's not like 12 people who have all got losing records. So I think it's a great performance. I think it shows the levels. I think it shows how many levels Johnny Fisher is above Alen Babic. I saw Alen after. He was devastated. And you get that feeling when you realise what you've come up against. I think with Rosansky, thought Rosansky got a bit lucky, but that was a completely different level. Johnny Fisher is levels above Babic. Where is Babic? I don't know. Johnny Fisher's levels above him.
Definitely. I posed this question to Eddie yesterday and Johnny at the presser. I mean, we go back to the Jacobs Ryder co-main event where he fought Gabirel Enguema, where I don't want to say Johnny, obviously, to his own admission, kind of wasn't his best that night. I mean, how impressed are you from the improvements from then to tonight?
Yeah, I think he got stick for that fight, and I think it was actually unfair. He got cut in the first round and the blood was running into his eye, and he did, we always look at performance for a particular fight. That's a 10 out of 10 for Johnny tonight. He couldn't have done anything better. I think it was still an 8 out of 10 against Enguema, but he was limited by his lack of experience. And after that fight, I remember people coming to us and saying, that was bad matchmaking. And I thought, it's not bad matchmaking. He needs those rounds. And I think sometimes as a manager, and you look at matchmaking, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I think tonight was good matchmaking for his profile. It's pushed his profile up. Was it good matchmaking in terms of getting him rounds? No, it wasn't. But we've got to do that. Sometimes it's about profile, sometimes it's about rounds. I think the Harry Armstrong fight was Johnny's real breakout fight.
Definitely was. I mean, what a performance that was, and Harry Armstrong is a tough man as well. Who next for Johnny Fisher in your mind, Adam?
I think I got asked this question about Solomon Dakers. I think Solomon's fighting Adelaide, and if he wins that, he'll go for the British title. I'm not averse to an in-house fight at all, providing that both fighters want it and it's at the right time. But Johnny's just a step behind Sol at the moment. Johnny should be fighting for the English title next or one after. I think there's nothing wrong with Johnny going abroad and fighting someone not on the strict Southern Area English-British list. But I think the next English fight for Johnny should be for the English title.
David Adelaide?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, Sol's going to fight Adelaide, see what happens, and then maybe Adelaide will have then fought for the British and the English. Maybe someone else, but Johnny Adelaide for the English, good fight.
Definitely as well. Another SJAM fighter on the card, John Hedges. I mean, the head clash happened right directly in front of me. Naughty head clash. I mean, Spencer Oakwood, I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but good performance from John Hedges, picking up that Southern-Area Cruiserweight title. Really excellent performance for 3 rounds. I thought he boxed beautifully. Speaking of Eddie, Tom Dallas, we were really impressed. And I think John had like a round and a half off, because he was a bit worried about going 10. And, the whole game plan was get this guy to 6-7. I think he was blowing heavily in the corner. And then just go through the gears, 6, 7, 8, 9. John was deprived of the opportunity to do that, but I still think he boxed well. And I had it 3-4-1-1. And I think a couple of the judges had that. Definitely. I wish I could open up my notepad and get my scorecard out, but I think I had it relatively wide to John Hedges as well. I mean, the sky's the limit also for John Hedges right now, picking up that title, pushing on. He's got that amateur pedigree as well. I mean, where would you like to see John Hedges go next? I'd like to see from John. John's got incredible boxing skills. He's incredibly talented as an amateur.
it's incomparable, his record and Johnny Fisher's record. And I think for a lot of the British cruiserweight division, I agree with that. I think we need to work with John and get him stronger at the weight. That's what I want to see from John. Him stronger at the weight. He has the ability to go a long, long way deep into this sport, but he's got to believe in himself. And I want him a bit stronger, and then it's going to be very exciting.
Definitely as well, and I feel like you can see that kind of in his physique as well tonight as well.
It's changing. He made his debut at 168, which in hindsight probably shouldn't have done. And then he went 175, and then like catch weights around 182. Now he's growing into 200. You look at John and you look at some of the big cruiserweights out there, and you're like, if you match them up, but that's not the kind. John's not got that enormous physique, and he's got the boxing style that a lot of people like that have. So I'm not surprised by this, Johnny. I'm not surprised that John boxed so beautifully. And we don't want to make him into a Richard Riakporhe. That's not what I'm saying. He's got to go to his skills, but I do want him stronger.
Definitely. To our final one from me, the board ordered Junaid, Bostan, Lee Cutler. I mean, is that next? Do you think Lee Cutler will vacate and Junaid might have to fight a different opponent?
I think that might well happen. I think Lee Cutler may well vacate. I think when you look at the boxing maths of it all, I don't think it really makes sense for Lee Cutler to fight Junaid right now. I think it's a big ticket seller, and he probably realises it's a very tough fight. I want to respect the guy. Very tough fight for Lee Cutler. I think he'll probably vacate, and I think Junaid will fight someone else.
Definitely, and Junaid doing some excellent work, I hear, on the grapevine with sparring the likes of Keller Plant and Kamel Moton as well.
Yeah. He's been out in Las Vegas pushing himself. Big shout out to Coach K, Coach to the Stars. He's a big Junaid Bostan fan too.
Perfect. Adam Morallee, thank you very much, mate. Cheers.